Welcome to another episode of On the Capital Stand. I am your host, David, and alongside the man that is trying to get the thong song to be our celebration song at the stadium, my man John. How you doing, John?
Good, David. How are you?
Doing good, my friend. Doing good. As a matter of fact, funny story. Uh, I, I was at work, working at the office, and I went to lunch, and I came back, and I had that song stuck in my head, and I'm working, and people are like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, I don't know. Just it got me so bad that on the way home I had to listen to it. All right, friends. There's a lot to talk about tonight. A lot of cool stuff, and we want to get to it. Otherwise, I feel the show's gonna be 2.5 hours long. First thing, as you can see me, if you're seeing me on the live show here on um, YouTube. You see there my shirt. Up the Football League we go. Stevenage badge. Look at this. Look at this. Check this out. There you go. Every single game in our promotion campaign. This past Saturday, my friend Callum Jackson from Stevenage came to join me alongside his girlfriend's family. For them, it was their first time experiencing football in the United States. For his girlfriend and himself, it was another. It was the third Orlando City game. They loved it. All wins. So everybody go to MCO, tackle this man, and tie him to his chair at Exploria. And last, he brought me this shirt, some other stuff, some other memorabilia, a scarf, and all those type of things. But the best thing is, I got this signed promotion picture, uh, and you can see there. Let me see here. Just there we go. To David, come on, Boro. Thank you very much to the front office staff. That even though I'm 4,400 miles away from the stadium, they think of me, and to all the Stevenage fans that have told me they're definitely going to make it to Exploria to experience football with yours truly. Um, Before I give the microphone to John so we can talk about the topics, I would like to remind everybody we're live on Twitch at On the Capo Stand, Twitter at On the Capo Stand, YouTube at Davis Channel 76, Instagram at On the Capo Stand, and Facebook On the Capo Stand podcast. So you can be part of the show if you want. Just send me a direct message or email us at foodiefan76 at yahoo.com, please. And we'll send you the link so you can join us tonight because of the bulk of the everything that we have. I would like to have people. If you have too many, then we're going to have to cut it short. I'm sorry. And also, I would like to thank the all the fans of the show that I ran into. I don't want to mention anybody because I don't want to leave anybody behind. Thank you very much for joining me, talking, and telling me how much you enjoy the show. It's you guys know who you are. I appreciate every single one of you. Last OCB won 4-0 against FC Cincinnati 2 this past Sunday. Alejandro Granados becomes the youngest player to debut in the first team. The Spaniard, fresh out of his U17 Euro Championship involvement. Orlando Pride won 3-1 versus Portland Thorns this past Sunday. And the CONCACAF has announced that CONCACAF Champions League will be renamed CONCACAF Champions Cup to prevent the confusion that has been. I never had a confusion, but they definitely want to brand themselves differently from the European Champions League. So that is that. John, quickly, we are going to talk about. Let's go ahead. Before we talk about Colorado at home, let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Definitely.
Messi to Miami. Please, your view on what's going on with this. Personally, I'm gonna let you know what I think about it. But John, go ahead.
Yeah, good for the MLS. It's going to get some eyes on the MLS that haven't been on our league before in quite some time since we had a big star. Kaká was really the last Ballon d'Or winner to come in to the league, and then before him was Beckham, I believe. So Messi's top two or three greatest, depending on who you talk to, of all time. So to have him in our league is a gift. I'm excited to see him play. I'm excited to see him lose at Exploria Stadium if he's playing. There still hasn't been official confirmation of exactly when he's going to start for Miami. But I honestly, except for attendance numbers, don't think it's really going to change a thing. I mean, Miami is an absolute dumpster fire of an organization right now. They don't have a full time coach. Um, they've lost a lot of games. Take out the Open Cup, lost a lot of matches in the league in a row. At least two that I know of, if I remember correctly. But other than the attendance numbers, it's not going to change much. They may win a couple more matches, but again, he's one player. He's 35. Um, he's a mirror image of himself. He's still a great, fantastic player. That he showed that in the World Cup, but he's not the Messi of Barcelona that can absolutely take off and take over a game. And the league's better, than when Kaká was here, than when Beckham was here. Um, it's a better league. The skill level of the league overall is much better. Than when those guys were here. It's a physical league. Messi, in my opinion's always struggled with physicality. That's why I think he never went to, especially the Premier League, because that's where the money would have been at. Until later in his career with Barcelona and PSG. But when he was younger on his first couple contracts, he could have easily went to the Premier League for a lot of money to Manchester United maybe, or Liverpool or Arsenal. So we'll see what happens. It's exciting to have him in the league. Shouldn't change that much. They're not going to go from bottom dwellers in the table to all of a sudden they're going to be top of the table by the end of the season. I mean, there's what, a month and a half left, maybe 2 months by the time he joins, and it's exciting. Not much to say. I don't want to bash them too much because at this point it's just pouring salt in their wound. They can have their celebrations. The funny thing happened. I don't know if you saw it, David, on Twitter. I think somebody took a screenshot. I think it was on Reddit. And it said something to the effect of, "I'm a new Inter Miami fan since Messi came in. Who's our rival? Where are we? Are we any? How good are we?" And the kicker was is there AC Miami? I think is what they asked. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that have no idea. I guess I didn't
Absolutely
even.
none. I got to see a lot of the postings. I'm not on Twitter anymore, so
Yeah.
I got to see that on other apps, and it's incredible
Mm-hmm.
the amount of people that don't know what's going on with the league. We're gonna talk a little bit about the perception of the league when we talk about my friend's experience attending the game here in a little bit. Uh, I receive bad news as I look at the calendar. I'm not gonna be able to go to the game against Miami. It just happens to fall on Yom Kippur. It's if you don't know what that is, Google it. It's the Jewish observance. We fast all day. We abstain from going to places of entertainment, singing, clapping. It's a day of observance. So obviously it will be out of character for me to attend the game. My buddy Tom Lord from Orlando City, UK, Bolton native, is going to be in town. So at least I'm gonna get to go to the game with him the Saturday before. So most likely I'm gonna try to find somebody that can use the second ticket and go with him. That way he doesn't get to go by himself, and he gets to experience that. But yes, unfortunately, I'm gonna miss that out. Right now, we don't know. Messi hasn't officially signed. Um, nobody knows really when he's going to be available, and there's obviously his international duty responsibilities with Argentina, which reminds me that we have sent away Cartagena, Galese with Peru, and also Torres with Uruguay. They're already with their respective camps, and so right now I don't know exactly how many games they're gonna miss, but definitely they're gonna miss this Saturday. So with that said, hey, I'm not gonna lose sleep. Messi is one man, and you gotta remember that this is a team sport. And like John already said, they have dug themselves into a very, very deep hole. And if you follow us on Instagram, the um, you saw the meme that we share where the Messi fans are liking Miami social media, and then their face changes when they see their position on the table. So we have our friend Ahmed Salim here coming up in a few seconds. John, if you don't mind reading this comment.
Yeah, Jim D said we are the red card kings of MLS. Glad we're forcing fouls, but I'm not sure we would have won those matches if it wasn't 11v9. But I'll take it. We'll touch on that after Ahmed comes on.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and hit out, my friend. We can talk about Messi. We can talk about Colorado. Let me put here the banner and bring our friend Ahmed Salim.
Hey.
Ahmed, welcome, my brother. You're on the Capital Stand. How you doing?
Happy Monday. Doing well.
Thank
How are
you.
you guys doing?
Good.
Doing great, brother. All right. So two things: the Messi announcement, the ticket skyrocketing, and the other thing is your impressions about the Colorado game.
It's funny because the Messi thing, the way I heard about it is I had a friend of mine who had never been to an MLS game send me a message, and he said, "Is Messi going to play in the MLS?" I'm like, and I said, there've been talks about it, and I didn't know. So apparently that and that I think for me sums it up.
Yeah.
It's great exposure, but then at the end of the day, is it really what we want to bring in general? So it's like a double-edged sword, because I always feel like we have something great, and the minute you bring in things like that, it detracts from what we're trying to build. I feel like.
No, absolutely.
So it's great. Don't get me wrong. My other thought was like, if I sell my tickets, I can pay for the rest of my season.
No, for sure. I tell you what, I have a friend that sits in my section, and he told me that he's like, dude, because he sits right behind me. We sit in the lower bowl, section 3, and he's like, I am fighting with myself. I really want to see him. I really want to see us defeat him.
Yeah.
But if I sell my tickets, I can actually pay off for the whole 2024 season in
That's
one.
what I'm saying.
So it's tough because he knows that whoever's going to buy those tickets is either going to be an Inter Miami fan, or a Messi. I don't know, fanboy. I don't know what to call him. But what you thought about Colorado?
When we finished off last week, I said to you I wanted more consistency. Really, what I wanted was a win at home, and we got that. And I still think our best game so far in the last few games was that one against Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
A win is a win, but to me, it's like we were playing Miami, in a sense. If you look at them from where they're at, so I don't think we should have expected anything less than a win, maybe even more of a win. And I feel like there were times when they had opportunities that they shouldn't have, and we missed opportunities. So am I complaining about the fact that we won? No, but I feel like if you don't look at those things, you're not going to grow, especially when you're playing teams, that's at the bottom of their table. And then when you have a game next week against Philadelphia, who's where? Third?
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm really curious to see how that's going to play out compared to, playing against a team like Philadelphia. So I'm super excited about the result. But, again, we played against 10 guys, 9 guys for part of the game.
Yeah.
So
what do you guys think? I mean, to be honest with you, I was very disappointed that we struggled against 10 men, and then we failed to score more goals against 9. What do you guys think about that?
I agree. I mean, I feel like we should have capitalized on that, and we didn't as much. Maybe because we were comfortable and we were ahead. But I feel like we need to prove that the guys need to prove that to themselves, that it's not just, we're not just okay.
No, for sure.
I don't know.
And my apologies, guys, because I'm a man doing a lot of things at the same time. So my apologies for not seeming like I'm not paying attention, but I am actually. We got a comment here, John, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
There we go. Let me see here.
Jim D said the funniest thing was seeing Miami's Twitter feed after the recent loss. All the new fans in disbelief and ragging on them in every possible language. Yeah, I was getting to that when I was talking about it. And yeah, I mean, I didn't personally see it, but I saw a lot of people's reaction through Orlando City Twitter about it. I guess it was pretty comical to see the new fans of Enter Fort Lauderdale.
Right. The guys that that thanking their grandfathers for raising them up to be Inter Miami fans. This is what I have to say, guys. This is my take on it. I'm happy for Messi, for Lionel Messi, the father, the husband. Lionel comes from struggling background. His grandparents were immigrants, he actually had the opportunity to play in Spain because I believe either 2 or 3 of his grandparents were Spaniard born, so he counted as a national in the Spanish system. So he had that blessing going on for himself. The deal has been reported as $50 million cash for salary. He's going to be getting a percentage of the subscriptions to Apple Plus. Adidas, who is his sponsor, is going to give him a cut of the jersey sales, which we already know that they're going to fly off the shelves. I mean, that's facts. And then aside from that, he also gets to have ownership of a future team, just like they did with Beckham. You have to be a fool not to take that deal. Mm-hmm. While they were throwing billions at him in Saudi Arabia, to me, this deal with MLS sets not only himself, but generations to come. Set them up in a path where this is generational wealth, where Messi's great grandchildren are not going to have to be toiling away on a pitch to make a living. They basically the world is their oyster, if you will. So I understand that part, and I understand why he wants to come here. He wants to, and this is the other thing. He's conducive to residency, quite possibly citizenship at one point. Things in Argentina are not that great, so I get that. So, Ahmed, before we let you go, my friend, what do you expect to see this Saturday against a very strong New England Revolution? We don't have Galese. We don't have Torres. We don't have who am I leaving? Cartagena. Thank you, my brother. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Can I be honest with people? Because people get mad when I talk bad about their players. I saw our boy Mason in OCB against Toronto FC. He got cooked. And you can blame it. Oh, well, he has 15, 17-year-old kids in front of him. I'm a little nervous, my friends, especially when Ojeda in OCB is starting to show that the kid can ball. And there's a guy named Josh Cohen, American-born, product of the University of California product, former Sacramento Republic player, current Maccabi Haifa player in Israel, who may not be resigning. At some point, we have to think that our number 2 has to be a caliber player. And Mason has been with us since 2015. And I like the kid. But, guys, at some point, we have to be reassured that when Pedro's gone for international duty, that that our number 2 is gonna do what he has to do.
Mhm.
What do you think of it?
I'm nervous, but I have faith. I feel like it's going to be a test. This game is truly going to be a test of everything that we've seen over the past few weeks. I feel like we've started to show some of that consistency.
Mhm.
This is just really going to be a test of how across the board is that gel, between the players. Because the last time we went to Philadelphia, it was a good outcome for us, if I remember correctly.
Yes, it was. It
We
definitely was.
came out strong in that first 9 minutes, and we barely held on. We need to come out strong and blow it out of the water. And I think at that time we were without some players also, if I'm not
Yes,
mistaken.
that is true.
Philadelphia was without a lot too as well. Though.
Yeah. So at the goal, I hate to be the kind of person to be like it's on any one player, right? So I feel like if we lose, you don't lose just because of one player. Just like Miami's not going to win just because of Messi, right? But
Right.
that's the thing, So if everybody pulls in and keeps going the way they're going, like I said, I think this game is going to be a good test for the team.
Mhm.
But I'm not saying I'm not nervous because this is the first team that we've played in a while
Absolutely.
that's really going to put us to the test. Like compared since the Atlanta game, I mean, if you look at all the other teams we played, they really were not. We should have won those games that we won.
Mhm.
That's
No,
my-
I hear you, brother. I hear you.
Maybe-
All right, man. Thank you
All
for joining us, my friend.
Thank
Where can we find you in the internet?
That's at Ahmed Salim. Just I thought I had put it on there. I guess not. But
Okay,
it's Ahmed.
fantastic.
right.
Hold on a second. If it's not showing, it's because probably the banner is blocking it. So let me take the banner there for a second.
Yeah, there you go. That's it right there.
Okay. Well, thank you, my brother. Thank you for joining us. And
Thank
vamos Orlando as
Thanks for
always.
doing the show,
brother.
guys.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, man.
Thank you guys.
Bye. All right. So Ahmed is leaving us, but Jared is joining us. Let me go ahead and let him in. Welcome, Jared. You're on the Capo
What's
stand,
Jared?
my friend. How you been?
I'm doing so well. Wanted to jump on and say hi to you guys. Hope you're doing well. And I'm sure you've heard the saying, what do they say? You don't know what you have until it's gone.
Yep.
Well, Orlando City is not gone, but they were for me this last weekend. And I just wanted to share. I get to travel quite a bit like you, David. And I got to spend the weekend. I gave my tickets away to a friend for Orlando City, but I got to watch boring soccer in an empty NFL stadium. I was in Chicago.
Oh man.
It was sad because I trained with that team years ago when they were in the reserve squad.
Mhm.
I went to my first MLS game in Soldier Field, which is where the Chicago Bears play, when I was in high school, and there was more people at the stadium then. And I was part of the organization just on the training squad when they built a soccer stadium, but they built it too far from downtown.
Yeah.
And now they're back. And I spent I spent the event there because I love soccer and I do love Chicago. Used to live there, and I wanted to be, but it was really sad. And I'm so glad to be back and be back at an Orlando City match, hopefully, against Philly. So
Yeah.
it makes me really thankful for our stadium, for what we have, and we all want the same thing. We want the team to do well. So I just wanted to share that.
No, absolutely, my brother. At least you got to see that Celas Rayan golazo. It was our good friend Mark who sits behind me. He wasn't there this time around, but Mark, when you listen to this or watch this, you made me laugh. He said, "Hey, the good news of the night is after this golazo, hopefully they will forget about the Wayne Rooney goal and just throw it in the garbage where it belongs."
That was amazing. It was very Orlando City-esque because they tied the match in like the 89th minute. So, but not to talk about another club, but I just wanted to share that. And when I moved here from Chicago in 2011, and the first thing my soccer friends told me was, "Well, what are you going to do? There's not a club near you." And I hadn't thought about it because I was taking a job.
Yeah.
And I was really sad actually because I was a season ticket holder for the Fire. I've been supporting soccer in the U.S. since it in the beginning. And that just, I remember when one of my students, when I was a school teacher, his dad goes, "Hey, you like soccer? There's this little team in Orlando. You should come." And I went to a match with him on I think a Friday night against the Rochester Rhinos. And that's when it got hooked. And so,
yeah, we share a similar story. I have retold the story 1,000 times.
So I to share that, and I'm glad the team's doing a little bit better. I expect us to win against Colorado 2-0, regardless of the man advantage. So I'm excited to see how you got to win the games we're supposed to win, and we did that. Hopefully, that moves into some confidence to these difficult games. So
absolutely,
very excited and excited to be back home. So
no, for sure, brother. I mean, third win of the season. It's mid-June. A little concerned about that. So let's finish with this, my friend. We're heading out to New England, and New England is a very good team, very well coached with very good players. They're at home. They are on a good career path this season, I believe. They're definitely going to be a contender for some silverware at some point. What do you think is going to happen as we go up there without some of our big weapons?
I might have missed it. I jumped on here as soon as I could. Do we know if they're missing anybody?
I don't believe they are. I tried looking today and I couldn't find anything to say they're actually missing somebody. Yeah.
I think because of where their stars are from, they're stars in the league, but maybe not internationally.
Yeah.
But Carlos Hill, I believe it's their number 10, their captain. I mean, I remember a couple weeks ago, he single-handedly beat Atlanta in Atlanta. So the guy's just, he's the number 10 everybody wants. So, I mean, we have a solid defense. We don't have our star keeper. I expect to grind. I want to see them fight. I want to see them go out there and really put in a good shift like we did against, I guess I wanted to say like Philly, but Philly was down several people too. So, hey, it's part of the league. Just go out there, compete with what you have.
That's it. You got to play who's in front of you.
We are deeper this year. So let's see what these guys, every chance somebody's an international is a chance for someone to step up. So I remember when I had those opportunities, you have to take advantage of it if you get it, because you may not get it. So for those guys that have been waiting, take advantage of it. Embrace. And
before we let you go, my friend, on Messi, we have word that it looks like Martinez is out. He's going to be traded to Charlotte to make some cap room. This is what happens. Today they love you. Tomorrow they hate you. The day after that they forget about you. What a fall from grace for this young man. One day he's the golden boot, and now he's just a disposable player because Messi's coming to town. So what's your thoughts on our game? First, this game in Orlando is looking like the cheapest ticket is probably going to be in the $400 range at this moment. Hard to believe, man. I can't believe that somebody will drop that much cash.
Well, I just a couple quick thoughts. I'm excited he's coming to the league. I hate that he's going to Miami. I'm excited for a few reasons. I remember when Beckham came to the league, I was still pretty young and, early college. And I had I grew up playing soccer in America, but not many of those kids I played with watched it. They played it, but they didn't follow it. And a lot of them follow it and still follow it because of Beckham. So now we're going to have, the great thing is we are not that same league. I don't know if you remember, David Beckham was playing in high school football stadiums with field. It's a different league, completely different league. Other people from the country, the world. As you know, I take a lot of people to matches. I've already had at least 3 father friends. Like, can you get me tickets for me and my son? And this is a chance for new people to come to the stadium and then see what the league is today. It's a better league. I don't think it's going to be easy for Messi. I mean, we're pretty hard physical. We're a physical league, so we'll see. Lastly, about him coming, I don't know. Did you see what one of the goalkeepers from Miami said?
Yeah, I read that. That he said the league is not prepared. We don't.
He said Miami isn't. You can walk straight onto the pitch. It's just he basically was like, our team isn't ready for it. And then we have the most famous player ever is going to come play stadium. I don't like that for him, but hey, he's the one who decided to do it. So we'll see. I think it's going to be crazy, but I'm here for
it. For sure. So, all right, Jared, we thank you for your time, bro, for coming on. I appreciate it. I know that you were traveling, missing in action for a while. I appreciate when you come on, man. And hopefully we'll have you back Monday, and we got we get to talk about 3 points away.
Thing real quick.
Yeah, man.
It has to do with Miami. You remember when our supporters are there and talking about them pumping sound?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I've been to 3 other stadiums, and they all do it too. Chicago.
Really?
And so did Columbus. So Columbus had one of the best experiences I've been to at a soccer match in America ever. But they were pumping that supporters through the speakers the whole day.
Oh, that's crazy. At least we don't do that,
Doing it. But anyways, thank you guys. I appreciate you.
All right, my friend. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Bye, John.
Bye. All right, John. So let's go back to Colorado. Okay, complete dumpster fire, my friend. And they 2 red cards. The first one, in my opinion, clear red card.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, as a matter of fact, MLS addressed it because a lot of people were butthurt that our player, he had Cartagena had the high boot too, and he didn't get out. But you know what? The thing about Cartagena is that he had the smarts to realize, hey, he's gonna hit me. Listen, you gotta love the game. You gotta love the team. If you're gonna take a straight boot to your ribs. I don't know if you guys ever had happened to you playing sports, getting hit with cleats to the ribs. I played American football, believe it or not, in the heat of Puerto Rico. I was skinny as a rail. Trust me, I sweated like an animal. And that had happened to me because I was a defensive lineman. I believe it or not. and that hurts like hell, man. This guy was coming full blown and trying to look for the Galvan is the player that happened on the 39th minute, and straight red. Second game in a row that they get a straight red for a player. And then after that, in the 75th minute, what a stupid red card from Abubakar. At that point, you're losing the game. It can't get worse than that. Why are you going to let your team with 9 men? A lot of people were saying, and I'm of that belief that had it not been for the red cards, maybe the game ends 0-0. What do you think?
I'm going to disagree with that. I mean, we were when it was 11v11, it was threatening. We had 248 more passes completed than they did. 10 men up or a man up, 2 men up or not, that shows dominance. We were putting dangerous balls in the box, having some good combinations of play up the middle. There was one, I believe it was in the second half before we scored our first goal where Torres passed it to Pereira in the middle.
Yeah.
And then Torres made a run, and Pereira didn't even look up, just went to pass it to Cara. It was a good run by Torres. If he's a step slow or a step faster, he gets through there, the ball gets to Cara. Cara can turn and shoot at net with, 1 man at his back. It would be a dream scenario. He's put those away plenty of times before, even for us. A couple of the crosses by Santos were beautiful, just nobody getting on the other end.
Mm-hmm.
We completed 89% of our passes. I know we were a man up for most of the match and then eventually 2 men up, but there still has to be a lot the team does right to have that many more passes completed than the other team. And that high of a completion percentage. 89, anything over 80 to 85% is pretty top tier passing as far as completions go. So I disagree with the 10 men going up a man. Obviously helped. It never hurts. They started sitting back big time. And the other thing is they only had 2 shots on net. Colorado did. So, and neither of them were really threatening shots at all. Gillespie didn't have to stand on his head for, I think, the first match all season, which is good to see. I can't remember his name. The one winger they had tried to wreak havoc on our center backs, take advantage of Schlegel's aggressiveness a couple times, and was caught offside the one. And then the other one, we bottled him up. Great game by Janssen, one of his better games this year, I think. That kind of brings me, speaking about offsides, I don't understand when Torres was called offsides in the first half at about the 35th minute. Or 40th minute. I sent you a picture of it. Don't mind the assistant raising his flag for the offsides, because it was close. But why they didn't let that play continue? Because I'm sorry, Torres 1v1 versus goalie.
VAR would have taken care of it, John.
Every day of the week and twice on Sunday, because he's going to put that away a lot.
Absolutely.
And of course, because it was Orlando City and their pro referees, they stopped the play dead, didn't even give it a chance to go to VAR, and then replaying the match. It's a bad angle, but if you go by the stripes on the grass, it's not even close. He was onside by at least a couple yards, and the closest player to him was even keeping him onside with his back foot. But that's part of soccer, part of the game. There's going to be missed calls. Overall, play that 10 times. 8 of the matches we put in 4 or 5 goals, even without them going up, in my opinion. And the other 2 matches, are the way it was this past Saturday. But hey, we got a home win. That's what we asked for. We asked for some goals. We got some goals. Torres's deflected shot would have probably been in anyway. I watched the replay of that multiple times. Looked like he was going to beat the keeper anyway, based on where the shot started and where the keeper was and all of that. And then what's it say? It's a young kid. Name escaping me. Great for him to get his.
Enrique.
Yeah, Enrique. Great for him to get his first goal as a Lion. Great strike. Great movement of play by the boys, and it's a 2-0 win. We go into one of the tougher stretches of our schedule, playing back-to-back teams that are ahead of us. And the one thing I wanted to bring up, and I want to hear what you say about it, David, is what's going on with Ojeda. I mean, the dude, we bring him in Saturday as a number 10. And it seems like ever since we started using him as kind of trying to use him as a super sub, he's just been a turnover machine. His progressive passing, which you need to have as a number 10, is nowhere to be found. He gets the ball and is slow to do anything with it. Pass it, dribble it, try to get around somebody. It's disappointing to see, because obviously he was the player we tried to get in 21 or 22, sorry. And was unable to come to terms with his club and him. And then we got him this year. I was really excited to see him come in. And, honestly, yeah, he had a couple good games, but overall he's been a giant flop. And I mean, we're into June now. Season's half over. So, it's kind of hard to say that he needs time to get used to the league and everything. Travel hasn't been that bad. But, what do you think of that, David? I mean,
last year we had Gioacchini here. Couldn't even get 2 minutes. Are you guys seeing that guy in St. Louis?
Yeah.
We have said before that management is what makes clubs who they are. I know on social media people get sick and tired of me bringing up my overseas clubs, but friends, it's the example that I can give you, because as a fan of those clubs I have lived in. This shirt that I'm wearing, celebrating my club going up a league, a year ago, it was a fever dream. It was a fever dream. We were looking at relegation. I actually went on the Steve Enich podcast there with my main man, Matt Farley. He's the David Valentin of Stevenage. And, we just had a heart-to-heart. So much so that ownership, management, everybody listened to that show, actually, because everybody obviously was curious. What does this American guy know about us? And the players listened to it. I was told that some of the players listened to it, and I was devastated, because if we were to be relegated, that's it. I can't watch the games. You guys seen through the Wrexham spectrum, right? That you go to National League, that's it. There's no way of you to watch the games. So I was really picked up about that. But like I said, I have used that example because in football, friends, the management has a lot to say about this. When it comes to Ojeda, I have to say that based on what has happened with Gio Aquini, based on the film that we have on Ojeda in Argentina, I'm not gonna blame the player so much. Yeah, there's part of it. The player has to get used to his new teammates. One thing that happens in the United States that doesn't happen in Argentina is there's different languages spoken. Even though you could argue, oh well, Orlando's pretty much Spanish speakers. If you want to feel sorry for somebody, feel sorry for Cara or DDT or Jansen, because those guys are the odd man out. But there's a lot of that. There's the travel. There's a lot of factors that I think that you have to take in consideration. Also, the fact that Ojeda came here after playing a season. He didn't really have a proper off season. So to be honest with you, I share your frustrations, John, because I was expecting more from the young man. But in order for me to say, yeah, this player has to go or something like that, I will have to see him a year from now.
Yeah, I'm not saying we need to get rid of him over the summer,
No, for sure. But I'm just saying, like, to pass judgment, was this a flop or not? And besides, come December, we may have different management. Yeah. John, I would like for you to read some of these comments before our next guest comes on.
Jared Quackenbush, thanks for having me, gents. Appreciate you providing the show for us.
Thank you, Jared.
Thank you, Jared. Jim D, the Santos crosses are a huge issue. Picture perfect with nobody there to put it away. Everyone's still waiting at the top of the box. Nobody making the back post run either. Mind-boggling. Honestly, Jim, it's something that we had an issue with last year too, which was the late back post run. Early in the season, a couple of our goals came from the late back post run. Recycling the ball that made it through the mouth of the goal, and then somebody was there to push it in. That comes down to coaching, to be honest with you. It hurts kind of Kyle Smith. One thing I like that he's done that hurts that back post run is Kyle Smith playing more inverted as an inverted outside defender. There's not going to be anybody necessarily there to make that back post run because Torres likes a second side. We already have an inverted defensive guy in there, more in the middle. So that's going to hurt. That's kind of a coaching thing. I hope it's something we see cleaned up a little bit more, maybe on set pieces, or if the ball's on the opposite side, have Kyle Smith, play a little bit wider, not all the way out on the wing, but just a little bit wider.
No, for sure. And this next one,
definitely Jared Quackenbush. Gioacchini has a Golaza this week, and I never figure out why he only got two second half opportunities. Why do you expect him? What do you expect coming to a new country, league, and team? I feel he was never given a real chance. Yeah, this was a guy. When we picked him up last year, I was very excited, very, very excited. This is a guy that
national team guy.
Yep, I feel never really got a good chance in Italy, I believe is where he was playing.
He was in France.
France, okay. I could not remember which one. France. Never really got a good opportunity in France. The competition seemed to be just a little bit much for him. But the skill showed with the opportunities he got. Skill showed in the national team, and then he comes in and plays in mop-up time. When we're hoping for a goal or kind of, parking the bus and trying to get that notorious 1-0, 2-1 win. And he goes to St. Louis and he's having, almost
Having a
a
ball.
resurgence. Yeah.
And we lost him for nothing, $50,000. Go figure. All right, so now we have a 2 for 1, 2 for the price of 1. I had the pleasure of talking to these two gentlemen for quite some time this past Saturday. They are just as nice in person as they are on the show. So let me go ahead and usher them in. William and Vixen, you guys are on the Apple stand. What's happening, my guys?
Yes.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good.
Doing good, brother. Doing
Awesome, man.
good. So we spoke before the game, and what are your impressions? What you liked? What you didn't like? I know Vixen made the trip down from Tallahassee. I was just telling him that I drove to Lake City. For those that are not familiar with Florida, it's where I-75, I-10. It's a good 3-hour drive from Orlando one way. And so I know big sacrifice for the man, but he came down to see his Lions, and he was not disappointed. What you guys thought about the game?
Go ahead. No, you first.
Me?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Okay. Yeah, I was listening earlier. I think I'm one of those that think that we won because of the red cards. Judging by the game, Colorado played like Orlando City with like at the beginning of the season. But Orlando City wasn't doing, like they were pressuring a bit more. But they didn't, like even after the red cards, it was for Orlando City to win by like 5 goals or something. Like I don't put down the effort that they put into the game. I don't want to be that guy. But it just seemed like, with 2 red cards, you will expect more goals. You know what I mean?
No, for sure.
Yeah.
Vixen, what you thought?
Nothing made me happy to see Ramiro finally score a goal, and I was happy to be there to see it in person. He deserves it, in my opinion. He may not. He's still 50-50 with the team, but every time you play, you could tell that he's a lion at heart. Like he wears that crest with pride. I remember his first game, like our very first game. He stole the ball and ran with it for like 40 yards, and right on the line too. And Lalas Abubakar, that's so irresponsible. So that's how you know he's a terrible defender. How could you forget that you already had the yellow card in like, dude, that's unprofessional. Like a professional would remember that. Like John Terry, Gary Cahill, or freaking like Piquet, they would remember that. But
in his defense, he got the yellow card at the 5th minute or something. Like it was very
but still, dude, I'm telling you, you gotta remember that.
No, for sure. And guys, the reason why Rodrigo Schlegel came in for Antonio Carlos is because Antonio Carlos had the yellow card, and we had instances in the past where Antonio feels that the red card is worthy. Although this game we had a 1, and we're going up to New England, so obviously he would have been gone, especially when we're missing key pieces. So I gotta call him some slack. Heat of the moment.
And they had a red card at the moment too, so he probably thought like that.
Yeah. I think their first red card was the one that was unforgivable because Cartagena realized what was happening and he cut his kick short. And for everybody, I invite you to go on the MLS YouTube channel. They actually Weeby goes through the the morning after type of thing. Sponsored by Pringles, I think it is. and you can see that Cartagena sees him, makes eye contact, reduces his leg, and the Colorado player was like, "Nope, I'm just going full force." And
well, the matter of the fact of that is, one guy got all ball, the other guy got all person.
For sure.
If it's reversed, Cartagena sent off.
Yeah, we laugh about it, but if he would have broken his ribs, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And one of the things that I know firsthand, because I have spoken to several players, players have a consciousness of not hurting the other guy. They know where the other guy comes from. They know this is their living, this is their dream, and the last thing you want is to be the guy responsible for ending somebody's career. As a matter of fact, we're gonna start playing a game. Every time I bring up Stevenage, take a shot. One of our players at Stevenage had a contusion in the last game, head to head, going for a 50-50 ball with another Stevenage player. And unfortunately, he was already at the end of his career, but he has made the decision to retire because he got hurt. And his time in the EFL cut short. So, guys, it can happen. At the end of the game, you're already thinking about champagne and celebrating, and boom, you're out of the game. So those things do happen. Unfortunately for them, Colorado is probably praying for fire to land over there on their stadium and burn the whole place down. Guys, we're going to Colorado. Oh, before that, I already know the answer to this question because obviously we talked about it face to face. The situation with Messi. What do you guys think about this? And now that the rumor is that Joseph Martinez is out to make room for boy wonder Lionel Messi, the guy, the king of the South. It's out, thrown with the garbage, quite possibly going to Charlotte. What do you guys think about all that?
Yeah, the Messi thing. It's out of all players, I'm shocked that they didn't get rid of any of their other DPs like Campana or Gregore. And they chose Joseph Martinez, and he was the one that got his 100th goal against Atlanta United a couple like a month back or so. And I didn't expect it was gonna be him because he has experience in MLS, not like Campana, that's fairly young and like still new to the league. Because he just came last year, I believe. And I believe it's gonna be interesting how Messi performs under a new coach. Like, who's gonna be the coach? Like the current coach for Inter Miami.
Right. No, for sure. That's an important factor. William, your thoughts on it?
Well, for the Joseph Martinez situation, I don't see the guy as nothing more than just an actor that's just playing the heel part of of the MLS. I don't see him as no one threatening to any teams. I don't know. I can't point a different striker. Like maybe Charito or something, but.
Right.
I don't see whenever you hear Joseph Martinez, you don't get scared. It's not.
Unless you're Sasha Kleshton saying, "Oh, he's Orlando's daddy," and I would like to remind to the former Lion, he's your daddy because you were on that pitch. Fat men like me were on the stands cheering you on, and you couldn't seal the deal. Guys, we're going to New England this Saturday, obviously without some important weapons. New England playing their best football right now. Your expectations this coming up Saturday?
Oof. Now we're going to be losing about 4 players, if I'm not mistaken, for international duty. And I looked into what they got going on for New England Revolution. They're going to go in with a full squad. I can't think of a single player that's.
See you guys next week. I'm out of here.
Yeah, I can't think of a single player that's going to get called for international duty for the New England Revolution because.
No, I can't. I think it's a full squad.
I think it's a full squad. But for the Philadelphia game, we got, I think for sure, 3 absent players. But that's for next week.
There's a 4th player, and that's Wilfredo Rivera, but. He's been with OCB.
Philadelphia is not going to be with 3 players.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, the following game. Gotcha, brother. Gotcha.
Yeah, but that's for next week's podcast. But the New England Revolution game, and they're going to be playing at home away, and it's going to be a bloodbath. I have a feeling.
Well, I'll tell you what. If we go and get a result. I'm gonna be the first one to congratulate the players on Oscar Pareja. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta win. You gotta win games. You gotta win at home. First of all, you gotta win at home, but you gotta win games. I think Oscar Pareja and the boys cannot give themselves the luxury of going into the Leagues Cup break out of playoff contention because it's gonna be tough, guys. I mean, we have to admit that to ourselves.
I was telling William in the game is that because I went to the game with him, and and we're undefeated theoretically. Like we're like in a 5-game like undefeated streak.
I believe it's 6 or 7 games. John, you
6 or
correct me.
7. Yeah, dude. Yeah, if
Six
it's
unbeaten. We're 6 unbeaten, but the
with the
cautious
draws,
part
with the
about
draws,
it
the draws,
is
yeah.
if you take our average, the opponent's average points as of today, they have 20 total points on average of all the opponents over our last 6 games. That would put them in 11th place in the East. So great that we've went 6 unbeaten, but still got to be a little cautious because the competition hasn't been there.
Yeah, we're like number 1 in the East away.
Yeah, that word for me, that word for me is a little sketchy when you say unbeaten because of the draws. Because you might be unbeaten, but the points really don't help you.
Don't
there.
add up there.
Yeah, so
to
me, it's not like something to be happy about. Like when you add draws to the mix. Like if you're unbeaten, that you
if you draw
games,
if you drew like 5 games but you only won 2 of them, but that's still being unbeaten though. I don't know. That's how I see it.
I mean, they got a solid home record. Our away record is good, so it's gonna be a battle of wills. Right now, New England Revolution is 4th with 30 points, and we're 7th with 26. So the difference is not that big. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was expecting this this summer to have more points on the table for all these teams. So people are, clubs are dropping points everywhere. Cincinnati, wow, what a turnaround! 40 points, first place, and it looks like they probably gonna run away with the Supporter Shield. And on a personal note, something that John and I were talking about before the game, we started the podcast. Good for them, that fan base. We talk about lean years in Orlando. That fan base was dragged through the mud, humiliated, laughed at, have so many wooden spoons. They can have soup. They can have soup for 5 people. So many spoons they got. So, anyways, guys, thank you for coming. Appreciate you guys coming on. As always, I don't have to tell you this anymore. You guys come whenever you want. Thank you for the sharing the moment with me on Saturday. I put William on a tough spot there. When I call your friend your girlfriend, I don't think you like that. I don't know. I'm just saying, man. You know what I'm saying? If we're in the friend zone, that's one thing, brother. But you know what? I was once in the friend zone, and here I am 17 years later with my wife. So
I have time. We were looking for John. John, we went over to your section. We couldn't find you, man.
You may have missed me. I was getting drinks for the family, and then lost my girlfriend because she had friends in the stadium. So we may have just crossed paths, but didn't see each other. But I was there. I was always on the as you guys are facing from where David sits, always on the left side, about 9 or 10 rows up. Since apparently.
Oh, really? I thought you were like 2 or 3 rows up.
That's where I tried to, but since they started enforcing the 7 rows and lower for supporter groups only, they don't let me down there anymore. So
yeah. Well, William and I were looking like towards down, like the first 3 rows. We didn't bother. Oh, so you're 9 or 10 rows up. I didn't know. Oh wow.
Yeah, I didn't think you were there because I don't think I would miss you. And like I was looking through the rows and I told him like I don't think he's here. Like
no, I told you, the beauty of home games is there's gonna be more. I know for Vixen, they're rough. They're tough to come by. But I don't know. I think the Miami game is probably gonna be this party get together. I'm not gonna be there, but hopefully everybody gets to have a good time. Guys, thank you very much for coming on. As always, you're more than welcome. We're gonna say goodbye to you guys. Where can we find you on the internet?
Mine is Willow Aguilar, so WILO, and then my last name Aguilar,
and mine is just my first name, but the V lowercase.
There you go. Thank you, guys. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up over here. Thank you, friends. We'll see you soon. Okay.
Thank you for having us. Absolutely.
All right. Awesome. Great. Thank you guys for being with us. Yeah, one of the things I wanted to address, and I posted it on Facebook. I would like to read it because, like I said, my buddy Coleman last year, he's a fellow Stevenage supporter, season ticket holder. By the way, season tickets at Stevenage are going for £400 a season. Maybe MLS needs to learn how to properly price the people's game. This jersey that you see, this shirt that you see that I'm wearing, £15. Why can't we have, if this was MLS, $60 for a t-shirt? Come on, it's ridiculous. We need to. I would love to see us do that properly. There's a rumor going around that Orlando City legend Dom Dwyer may be trying to sign a short contract with Orlando. My opinion about it is, if the money's right, I will take him as a bench player. When I look for this, John, what do you think about Dom Dwyer returning to the club that he personally got into MLS? I will go down to my grave with that.
Very split on it, honestly. I loved him when he was with us in the USL. Obviously left to pursue, bigger opportunities in the MLS, got some national team call-ups, came back to us and, played as good as he could when he was healthy, got injured a lot. And then he moves on to Toronto and never forget it. Shares a picture, retweets a picture that Toronto put out of Toronto painting the seats in Exploria Stadium red. I don't know if you remember that or not, David.
Yeah, I remember that.
So that's my freshest memory, other than Gillespie making that incredible save on him last season. It was the save of the year. But the when he was with Toronto, that still hurts me, as an Orlando City fan. That's something that I won't let go of soon. But with that being said, I feel like he has a lot of experience that could help some of the younger guys on the squad, because we do have a pretty young team as a whole. His experience, his professionalism, his work ethic, to in training and on game day and everything. I feel like he could teach the guys a lot. It'd be more veteran leadership that we need on the squad. If, like you said, if the price is right, if it's not going to cost us too much, sign him on for a season. Maybe he retires as a Lion. If you were to ask me when he was playing for us in the USL, if that's how it goes, and block all the other stuff out, him playing for one of our bitter rivals and throwing shade to the club when he was right after he left us and all of that, I would say that would have been a dream come true, for him to basically start his career with us and then end his career with us. He was a good player, goal scorer.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we had the chant. Really split on that. It would really have to be a bargain deal for us.
No, and it's going to be, John. I know from good sources that if it does happen, it's just gonna be, he has no bargaining power. No team picked him. He's living in Orlando. I believe his wife is not even playing. His ex-wife is not playing. Yeah, she's not playing. So he's living in Orlando. He has been staying in shape, from what I'm told. I think if you were to ask Dom Dwyer, he would like to leave the game on the pitch. Mm-hmm. Yeah, what better place than a city that he knows, and he will tell you has given him so much. I have one of my precious possessions. I have a game-worn USL jersey by Dom Dwyer, and I got it. Somebody was in a tough place because gave it away for next to nothing, $100. I think that's super cheap. Mm-hmm. And I got a hold of it, and when he was playing for Atlanta, last season when they came to town. I was by the tunnel. I said, hey, Dom, can you sign this for me? He was nothing but gracious, very nice. He remembered me from past interactions, and I told him, I said, hey man, to me you're a legend. No matter that I want to burn that that uniform you got on. And he laughed. I mean, nice guy. I just again, if he has that opportunity, great. And you know what, John, you're absolutely correct on all your feelings. Nobody can discount them. But the second that man scores, I
will go crazy and be screaming at the tops of my lungs.
Yeah. All is forgotten. All is forgotten. I always love them. So I just want to share this, guys, with you, because in this show, aside from obviously talking about Orlando City and talking about the game and all that, we always talk about the culture, the expectations, the love of the game and the love of the club and of players and so on and that sort of thing. I shared this on one of the Facebook groups that I'm a member of, and I would like to read this. A friend from England, his girlfriend and her parents and sister joined me at the game last night. That is a Tottenham fan. Hard for me to say. My friend and his girlfriend are Stevenage season ticket holders. Their impressions: it was fun. Love the atmosphere and American pageantry, even when the rain prevented them from experiencing the tailgating events. My friend has been to 3 games, all wins. He also supports Arsenal. Bottom line to the story: people who have access to the greatest football in the world think that what we have is good and worth coming back. The sister had never been to live football in her life. She's 21 and told me this was a lot of fun, not like on TV. We have a good league. Don't let trolls and Euro snobs tell you otherwise. And that complimented our team and our stadium. Let's keep working on that, friends. The atmosphere, the culture, that's all on us. We are a real club. Vamos, Orlando. And I would like to remind you, don't let anybody on social media tell you otherwise. Just because Messi 69 or Ronaldo GOAT 24 thinks that our league is not worth watching, is not worth supporting, it's not worth spending money on, let them be. Because the fact of the matter is, my friends last year, they could have come and joined me out of obligation, out of, hey, I wanna go see you. I got you some gifts that people send with me, blah blah blah. But they came back because they love the sport, and that's they love the sport, and and what they find here, they found their place at home, and it's safe to say that this is their club. When I saw my friend Colin coming through the concourses, he had this scarf that I had sent him as a gift 3 years ago, and that to me says everything that I need to know. So the fact of the matter is, guys, is that we have a great stadium, great atmosphere, great everything, and that's on the fan. That's not on the front office. That's not Oscar Pareja. That's not on the place. That's not on supporter groups. What we have is each one of those paying fans that walk through those doors week in, week out, make who we are as a club. We're ambassadors of our community, so much so that these two diehard fans that have crossed all of England and Wales following their club decided to bring more people. And I was looking at our the Stevenage Facebook group, and there's about a dozen people that already told me, hey, when I make it to Orlando, I have to go see Orlando City. Because if the fans there are half as good as you have been to us, then I found my MLS team. So let's remember that. John, if you don't mind reading this comment.
Yeah, definitely. Mod Salim said we have something great. Yeah, definitely. And I'm going to add to that, David. A couple of years ago, I was in my personal life, my job, I was unemployed, couldn't find work. Obviously, you have to pay bills. So I started driving Lyft, and I live very close to Disney and Universal, and basically right across the street from SeaWorld. So I drove in this area, drove the theme parks, drove tourists. And the amount of people that came from overseas, particularly, England, that asked me about the club, because I usually had something on my, dashboard showing the club, or wearing a shirt or wearing a hat, something showing the club. And the people that made it a point when they come here to catch a match on their family vacation. And, I know they're a little more football crazy than, the average person there is more football crazy, soccer crazy than we are here. But if it was such a bad experience and the league was as bad as people on Twitter try to make it sound, certain people on Twitter try to make it sound, those people wouldn't go, because there's plenty of other options, plenty of other vacationing spots. They could go see a baseball game, they get the true American feel, or, go to the beach or something else. If it was truly that bad, they wouldn't go. And with the Atlanta match, I know I brought it up last week. I brought my brother. My brother was down here on vacation to see me and the family, and it was his first soccer match ever outside of playing in high school and seeing youth soccer live. He watches it on TV. We'll sit there away matches, and him and I will be talking to him. But he'd never been to a professional soccer match live and in person. And at halftime, I asked him, what he thought, and he's like, "It's going by so fast. It's going by so fast. I can't believe it's so much faster than watching on TV." And then the match was over, and we were talking about, and he had a blast. He loved it. All but said that he couldn't wait to come back and see it again. So we really do have something special that, there's a reason that somebody like myself or David or Ahmad or Jared, we were all attracted to this product that was Orlando City at different times, some of us, and in our own unique way. And it's such a special product, that, and special community too. Everybody has their riffs and this and that. And
you would have never met if it wasn't for Orlando City.
Yeah,
The fans, the listeners. I mean, my friend Colum, and then plenty of other friends from Stevenage that had come to the game, and the clubs I follow. Orlando City has been good to me, my friend.
Yep. And we love this club like it's a member of our family. It's a
for sure.
When somebody has the dishonor of writing my biography after I pass away, the Orlando City is going to be a part of it for sure. Such a special product. I want nothing more than the club to succeed. And as a supporter, coming into this year, I'm like, okay, cool. We're going to win CONCACAF Champions League. We're going to win Supporter Shield. We're going to make a run in the U.S. Open Cup, Nations League, or whatever they call it. We're going to win that. So I care about this. I'm a fan at heart, and we just want what's best for this team and
for sure,
what's best for the community. It's such a special product, special, group of people that support this club.
No, John, and I have to say, man, I saw the clip of your son in the terraces tapping his little foot. That's how fans are born.
Yep.
That's how fans are born. And to think that, for example, my club Stevenage allows fans to bury their loved ones or bury themselves on the pitch, something that in the United States is illegal. That will never happen here. But that does happen. So on the pitch, there's actually fans that have been buried there. And my Israeli team, Maccabi Haifa, especially when it comes Israeli Memorial Day, the players and the staffers go to the graves of Armed Forces personnel that were fans of the club that have died, and put scarves in their headstones. I think that's a beautiful gesture. I think our league is only 28 years old. Our club, it's much younger than that. We were born in 2010 technically, but 2011 we'll play our first game. But John's son is gonna, God willing, the Lord is gonna give him enough years of life to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the birth of our club, and I'm pretty sure that he will be there with his children, his grandchildren, great grandchildren. And they are gonna be Orlando City fans. That's my hope and my wish. And the burden, it's on all of us to take care of our club, to support our club. If we can, friends, the one thing that hurt me about the situation that happened, that you guys know live on the air on this show, was that it was people that say they love the club that hurt me the most. We can disagree, we can fight, but at the same time, we have to remember that if we're wearing purple, we're on the same team. And I hope that that goes beyond what I just said. That people think of that. You don't have to like me personally, but you can disagree with me on the way I live my life, my beliefs, everything. But at the end of the day, I want the best for Orlando City because it's our club. It represents our community, our city. And to see now, like I was telling you guys, people from outside of our country, people who invented the sport, come and say what you got is a good thing. To me, again, what idiots online have to say is inconsequential, because the fact of the matter is that when people like that see the sincerity of our hearts and what we're trying to build here, to me means everything. John, if you can read this comment here.
Yeah. Vixen said something Perez should have done for this weekend's match was subbing players that he would have used to replace the players that will be gone for international break. Trying to think. I feel like he kind of did that. It was a little bit late in the match, though. When
Granados came in for Torres, which, by the way, it was completely at the end. I wish he would have done that earlier.
Yep.
And obviously, Galeza played the whole game, and I believe Cartagena was subbed off.
Yeah, I think he was subbed off at half, I believe. That's when Ojeda came in, and then they had Mauricio sitting a little bit deeper.
Absolutely. All right, my friends. So this Saturday, we are going to be playing away at New England. If I would like to tell you that our Orlando City legends, Sergio Ruiz and Miguel Gallardo, did the honors of calling the game in Spanish on ESPN Plus, on Apple Plus, and they did a fantastic job. As soon as I got home, I had to listen to it because I had to hear those golden, those iron lungs of Sergio calling our goals. It breaks my heart, the fact that they're not there for every game. Philadelphia, Jesus. New England is 4th. We're 7th. Only a handful of points separates us. It'll be great to get those 3 points. To be honest with you, great test. And I would like to remind you what's ahead. This Saturday, we're going to be away at New England. We're going to come back home on Wednesday against Philadelphia. Another strong test. And then we're going to go to the slaughterhouse that Seattle has been for us. But we beat them the last time we played them. We can do it again. I believe that. And that will be closing the month of June. And then we come back to July. That is going to go see us with 2 home games, 2 away games, and the return of Chris Mueller. And then we start our involvement in Leagues Cup, and hopefully we'll have a good performance there. John, anything else to add, my friend, before we say goodbye?
Yeah, we had a lot of callers tonight, which we're grateful for, not complaining. I love that we have the, people join us and makes this a lot of fun. But New England this weekend, I really feel like, it's going to be the good old last year Poppy special. Sit back and try to absorb and play on the counter, because we're going to have, Angulo is going to be up there, and he showed this this season that nobody can keep up with him in the league. Our defense, it's going to be a very defensive game on our half, I feel like. And, the next 2 matches especially, I really hope, honestly, with who we're missing, we're able to come out of there with draws. If we come out with either one of them with a win, that'll be a positive. But going away is tough no matter what league you're in. You hope for draws away, hope for wins at home, and if we can go draw and then head into Seattle with maybe a couple of our international players back, I think that'll suit us very well going forward.
Absolutely. And one last comment before we go.
Yep, William Aguilar. I wouldn't mind if we lose against New England, but they need to win against Philly at home. Honestly, if we get 2 points or more over the next two, I feel like that would be a positive, stretch of 2 games. And I know, William, you disagreed with it, but that means we would be 8 straight unbeaten.
Absolutely. So before we go, we would like to thank everybody that has been with us live. Also, thank everybody that is going to watch this later on in the week. Please let friends know. We would like to reach as many fans as possible. Also, by the way, we do this because you want to see us. You want to talk about Orlando City. You want to see this platform. We don't do it for the fame or the glory. There was a fan that did not tell me his name that said, "Hey, it was great to see you in the stadium. Don't let the trash talk from some people take you down." And I was sort of in a hurry to get back to my seats, and I just said thank you. And if you're listening, you're watching, I just want to tell you your words were very kind, and thank you very much. I really appreciate that. John knows that what happened before really hurt my feelings, affected me on a personal level. So maybe one day we'll talk about it. I would like to, I thank everybody that's going to watch this later. We are on audio, wherever you consume your podcasts. So find us there. As far as the games ahead, remember, friends, football is a pound of talent and an ounce of luck, and anything can happen on the pitch in 90 minutes. John, where can we find you on the internets?
You can find me on Twitter at thatboyjrdub and on Instagram, JRDUB15. I hope everybody has a good week. Hope to maybe see some of you next Wednesday. Still up in the air whether we're going to the match because the midweek matches with the little guy and work and everything's tough to get to. Hopefully see everybody there. See everybody first. Hopefully
I'm in town. If I am, definitely I'll be there under the floodlights, baby, at 655 West Church Street. I can be found on Instagram at _Florida_man76. Please follow us on all our social media. And we say goodbye to you like we always say, reminding everybody that the game of football is for those that don't mind getting their mouth smashed and their hearts broken. From John and myself, may God bless you. And as always, vamos, Orlando.